Good evening, welcome to this weekend's preview of racing across the country. We'll be looking at some of the news, one major news story that I want to focus on, and then we'll get on to the tips for the weekend. Try and keep it short and sweet this time, and get into those tips in a little moment. No Scottish racing this week for you. Plenty of action over the past few days at the likes of Musselburgh and Kelso, which had its Moor Battle Hurdle Day on Thursday. So a wee break for Scottish racing. But one of the main stories actually to hit Scottish racing over the past week is certainly the news coming about Musselburgh. Again, those of you that follow Scottish racing may be aware that there was issues about the BHA issuing a licence for racing at Musselburgh last year, and they were granted temporary licence while there was a bit of a power battle going on at the board. Well, it's been announced this week that East Lothian Council intend to bring everybody at the racecourse under council control, which hasn't went down very well. The BHA have indicated that this is an issue for Musselburgh to resolve, but they only have a licence up till early April. I think we've got a flat meeting in early April, and then it's a couple of days after that the licence due to expire. So there's nervousness in Scottish racing as to what's going to happen here, and it's very frustrating. Anybody that knows Musselburgh Racecourse will know it's a superbly run track. Bill Farnsworth does a magnificent job in all his team, and I think, as I say, someone like myself has been used by what's going on, and we all just want this track to keep going, because it's such a major player for Scottish racing, both for the jumps, as we've seen in the Cheltenham's Trials Festival, which again were another success, and also on the flat, particularly with its Ladies' Day meeting. You've got the meeting on Derby Day, which goes down an absolute treat, and a lot of great action takes place throughout the year at Musselburgh. So just leave this track in control of people that know horse racing. That's my simple thoughts on it. Just keep it in the control of people that have got a real interest in racing, that like those that are running the track just now. We remember the dark days of Musselburgh at Edinburgh Racecourse, as it was called. We don't want that back again. We don't want to lose it at the end of the day, because that is a possibility. It's unthinkable to think that there would not be any racing at Musselburgh in the future. It's just unthinkable. So please sort it out, folks, and those that, if that power battle going on in the committee continues, it's only causing more aggro, and as a racing fan, I just want to see racing continue at Musselburgh and be running in the way it's been run there over the past 10-20 years, when that track's just got power more stronger and stronger, and is now one of the best small tracks in the UK without a doubt. Anyway, that's my issues around Musselburgh, and hopefully as the weeks go on we'll get to hear more about it. And I think everybody involved in Scottish racing, right, not just in Scottish racing but right throughout the UK, should be very much vocal about wanting this track to remain in the interest of horse racing, and that's what it's all about. And if there is any indication that we may lose Musselburgh, then there must be a massive fight amongst racing punters, trainers, owners, jockeys, everybody involved in the sport, to make sure that that doesn't happen. Anyway, right, let's go on with the action, which is taking place over the next 24 hours. Going to just focus on a few races rather than trying to give you thoughts on 10 or 12 races as I have done in the past few vlogs. So going to try and just nail down on races where I've got real strong fancies, and I'll give you one big shot that is in there. I'll also briefly at the end just speak about the Grand National, where the weights have just come out on that this week. But let's start off. I picked one race out at Ascot tomorrow. Big day's racing there. The Betfair Ascot Chase takes place And one of my favourite National Hunt horses is an action that's top notch. The Simon Monier horse, trained by Nicky Henderson and Darryl Jacobs, the retained jockey, will be on board. He's a course and distance winner. He won there, I think it was in November, and then he went on to win the Peterborough Chase, which was run this year, this season at Taunton. And he's a real likeable sort. I really like. He caught my eye when he was a novice hurdler at Haydock, and I just thought he was a really smooth operator. And he went to Cheltenham that year, and he ran in the Supreme, but he ran in he got beat by his stablemate Peace and Co in that race, and Nicky Henderson had a 1-2-3 in that because Hargam I think was third. But I was always a top-notch fan, and he's now went on to chasing, and a year of novice chasing, and now here he is in this Grade 1. Big prize up for grabs, of course, as you would imagine, but there's plenty of good opposition for top-notch to take on. I've got Waiting Patiently, who looks a real smart performer, and he won a listed event at Kempton, and looks a real threat to that, to top notch. There's also Coney Island, who is in the betting for the Gold Cup. Barry Geraghty is on board there. That's horse over from Ireland, of course, and he looks like he will provide decent opposition. That's the front three in the market: Top Notch, Waiting Patiently, and Coney Island. Q Card, of course, is coming in for he's stepping back to 2 miles 5, and of course the news is that Paddy Brennan is back on board for Colin Tizard, which I think is good news actually. I felt for Paddy a little, and sometimes Paddy can be a bit hard on himself as a jockey, but I just don't think Q Card. I think his best years are behind him. I might be proved wrong tomorrow, but Q Card is around about 10-1 best bets, I think, with Ladbrokes, if you fancy a nibble at that. Frodon, now he's done really well in handicap company. Won very impressively at Cheltenham last time in a valuable handicap, and won it by a country mile with Bryony Frost on board. She's back on board. Frodon's about 10-1 mark. They two got on really well, and who knows, obviously there was nowhere else to go after that impressive win in handicap company. The handicapper would obviously just go and hammer him, so moved up. Heavy ground win there. Of course it's going to be soft, heavy in places at Ascot tomorrow, so conditions wouldn't be a problem, and there might be a few nibbles at that. The Speridec and Traffic Fluid make up the remainder of it, but I fancy Top Notch pretty strongly. He's won on testing ground previously, so that won't be a problem, and he's just making more of a step towards obviously Cheltenham, where he would be expected to go for Ryanair. It would be that would be the expected route for Top Notch. So course and distance winner, 2-1. Worth sticking in your lucky 15 if you're not want to have a single bet on that, but I like Top Notch. So that's the Ascot Chase. Moving up to Haydock, they've got the Betfred Grand National Trial Handicap Chase. As I say, the weights came out there, so Black Lion, who's going to return to Aintree, you would imagine, in the spring. He really does like the mud, and he won the Beecher Chase at Aintree, and Sam Twiston Davis is on board for his dad Nigel. He's run about 9-4 to win this. He's already waiting for the National, so what happens here doesn't really, it's more a progression for him. It's a bit too short a price for me. I like the Dutchman. I backed him the last time when he won at Haydock. He won the Peter Marsh there last time out, and he won it pretty well. Danny Cook's on board for Colin Tizard, so the Dutchman could run a pretty useful race. He's run about 92 best price. You'll be able to find out there if you can still get that. I think the Dutchman will put it up to Black Lion tomorrow, and he might be worth more value than Black Lion. But Black Lion is a classic sort, there's no doubt about that. The one that I'm going to, here's my big odds, here's my big each way punt for the week, and that's Yala Enki for Venetia Williams. When the mud's flying about, I think it's always, you kind of look to Venetia Williams for some of her horses to run well, and Yala Enki has run well at Haydock previously, won the Tommy Whittle a few years back, and he also finished behind the Dutchman, 4th in the Peter Marsh last time. Fell at Sandown, so yeah, okay, that goes against, but I think it enjoys the testing conditions that it will encounter here at Haydock tomorrow, and I think Yala Enki, run about 14 to 1 at the moment, might be worth a wee nibble there, each way punt for yous. Staying at Haydock, they've got the Pertemps Network Handicap Hurdle, a qualifier there. So again, it'll be another test of another war of attrition. And in terms of a wee punt, it might be another wee one that you can stick on an each way double along with Yala Enki, is Isaac's Town Lad for Nicky Richards, and Craig Nichol takes the ride there. It's another close and distance winner, and he's just a real stamina. He loves a test, and he'll get that tomorrow. Stamina's not an issue for Isaac's Town Lad, and he's at a decent weight for this race. So I think Isaac Town Lad could be the one to take on there, to have a wee punt at in the Pertemps Network Handicap Hurdle. That's at 3:50, by the way, just to let you know. The handicap, the Grand National Trial race is at 3:15 at Haydock. Right, moving on to Lingfield and my thoughts there. There's a Class 2 handicap that I've looked at the 3:50 at Lingfield, and again, around about 7 to 1 it is. Could throw it in an each way lucky 15 along with Isaac's Town Lad and Yala Enki, and that is Casbah. He's not won. He's had quite a few runs since we last seen him finishing the first past the post, but form wise I think he has a decent chance here. Georgia Cox takes off 3 for Amanda Perrott, and ran not bad in a handicap at Chelmsford last week, so it seems to be in decent enough form, and that's just might be a race for it. To that. Von Blucher was one that I liked as well, but I don't know if the step back and trip would suit that. So Casbah is my wee tip for that one. Drawn 1 again in these races. Make sure you get out and hold that rail, and that'll be the task for Georgia Fox tomorrow. But Casbah in the 3:30. Finally, I'll look at Wincanton's big race tomorrow, which is the Kingwell Hurdle. Again, a race that some use towards a stepping stone towards the champion hurdle. There's Call Me Lord is in there for Nicky Henderson. Aidan Coleman takes a ride. That's 13 to 8 at the moment, and he's ran well. He won a nice competitive handicap at Sandown, and then you've got the former Scottish champion hurdler, Shitterbello, for Dan Skelton, and they two are vying at the head of the market. One horse that might sneak in there, and again, in terms of what we have, we've got 6 runners, so each way is not really a massive thing, I would obviously say, but Elgin for Alan King. I think Alan King mentioned its last run when he was last out at Ascot. I don't think it was a pretty slowly run affair, and it didn't suit Elgin. He's running really competitive handicaps, and he's won a couple of them at Cheltenham, where he won the Greatwood Hurdle, and prior to that he won a decent handicap at Ascot. So again, Alan's probably feeling, well, where else can I go with this horse? He's running under a penalty, so it's going to be testing conditions. I was a little bit fearful of that. It's going to be heavy tomorrow, but soft in places in the hurdles course. But he tracked back through his form. He won a race in soft conditions up at Newcastle. So there is form there on softish ground, and I think that's the value maybe there. He's 5-1 currently with William Hill, and I've always fancied Elgin as a decent horse. Maybe one of those horses that, yeah, handicap company, but it's stuck between, you know, maybe not necessarily a Grade 1 horse, but this is a Grade 2, and it's worth a pop for the Alan King Yard, and we'll see where they're at with him after this. Not going with great confidence because of the ground, and he is taking on Comalord and Chitabello, who Comalord has definitely got form on heavy ground, and you could say the same for Chitabello, who won in heavy ground up at Haydock as well. So not massive confidence behind Elgin, but it might be worth a wee few quid on it at 5-1. Okay, so that's the 5 races that I've focused on there to take note of. Just to let the Grand National weights come out this week, and I did mention a couple of weeks ago, Tiger Roll is a horse that I've got a little fancy for in terms of running well. I think he had a wee run spin round Cheltenham this week over the cross country fences, and he certainly is worth, you know, still looking at in that anti-post market. He's waited to get in the race, so he's 30 at the moment, and undoubtedly there'll be some horses that will come in and out of it, and but I'm still confident that Tiger Roll may be a value bet, and they're definitely red heads the weights at the moment, having run superbly well in the Cotswolds Chase recently, and also is going to target the Cheltenham Gold Cup. But that's nothing new. A lot of horses, like Many Clouds for example, Hedge Hunter down the years have went to the Gold Cup and then went on and run really well and won the Grand National, in fact. So definitely Red's in there. Bristol de May is up there, Outlander, from the same connections as Tiger Roll. So but I'll still stick with Tiger Roll for the moment, but we'll deal with more with the Grand National when that comes around in April. But for the moment, have a great week's racing. Hope you have lots of luck punting wise, and I'll see you same time, same place next week for a couple of racing. Have a good one. Cheers.